Rajdeep, do you see at least the Congress having a concerted roadmap in terms of every week now you see a meeting happening where, there's one state that they're focusing on. There seems to be a game plan for each state, diametrically different yet similar. With what happened late last night, you had Deputy CM being appointed, less than 3 months before Telangana goes into active election mode, less than 6 months before it goes into election.
It does appear so. You see, when you win an election, it gives you a certain momentum, it gives you possibly a formula, a playbook that you can try and implement in other states, and that's what they're attempting. And I think the key to it is, again, the fact that with Mallikarjun Kharge now as Congress president, the attempt to give the local leaders greater autonomy and empowerment. You see, always looking over your shoulder to what the Gandhis want, what they will do, has been the Congress's traditional way of operating. And therefore, many of their decisions have often been taken at the last minute, always taken in Delhi. The sense one gets is whether it's a Gehlot, whether it's a Kamal Nath, whether it's a Baghel, whether it's even to some extent a Revanth Reddy, number of the decisions that were only solely being taken in Delhi are now being taken through a organized, systematic, consultative manner, even with the state leaders. And I think that's the big difference when you empower. And that's the big difference at the moment between the Congress and the BJP. The BJP at the moment is doing exactly what the Congress used to do 30, 40 years ago. Always looking over their shoulder. What will Narendra Modi ji want? What will Amit Shah ji want? It's very much Delhi-centric. Modi, Shah, Nadda, Santosh, this quadrangle that decides the BJP decisions. Kharge does not have that same political heft, you could argue, which is why Kamal Nath perhaps could almost, have his own way of functioning in Madhya Pradesh. It may actually work to some extent at the state level. And I make that distinction again between state and Lok Sabha to the Congress's advantage in states, not necessarily in a Lok Sabha election.
And that's why, Paulami, I want to bring you in, because what's interesting is this late meeting spearheaded by Modi. You have Mr. Shah there, of course, BL Santosh and the likes of JP Nadda. But having said that, it's what the Congress did earlier, where the High Command would take all the decisions and which would percolate to the states. And right now, the Congress has gone back into trying to create and invest into local leadership, but, completely opposite of what the BJP is doing.
You might say that yes, it is the top brass of the Bharatiya Janata Party which takes the final decision, but yes, there has been a process where they are, of course, seeking the suggestions, and the consultation is ongoing as well, as they, of course, speak to their state leaders, state presidents, people on the ground as well. For instance, even very recently, and in the case of Telangana, for instance, where they, like I was citing earlier, there has been some amount of internal resistance to Bandi Sanjay continuing on as the chief of the party. There have been those who've been turncoats who've come from the BRS, for instance, MLA Itala Rajinder. He was here in Delhi over the weekend and he was given an audience by JP Nadda and Amit Shah. Now, he is someone who is seen as a rival as far as Bandi Sanjay is concerned. There was another Committee Reddy as well, who came in, former MLA as well. He came in, given an audience by JP Nadda and Amit Shah. And after that, of course, Bandi Sanjay was called in. He came in on Tuesday, and then these reports were discussed with him. And then, of course, the speculation continues. Tarun Chugh, like I said, dismissing the possibility of Bandi Sanjay being removed so late into the day when Telangana is just around the corner, but again, speculation still rife that he could be replaced.
Well, speculation's there, but Dr. Syed Zafar Islam, taking off from what we were discussing with Rajdeep and Polumi, it's interesting because the Congress used to do what you do, and the Congress has gone back to invest in regional leadership. Let's go ahead. You're looking at 3 big elections in the Hindi heartland. You have the likes of Kamal Nath, very clearly the front runner in Madhya Pradesh, where your political party still doesn't know whether it wants to go, behind Mr. Chauhan. On the other hand, Chhattisgarh, very clear leadership. Congress very clear that they want to possibly settle Rajasthan as well. Will you actually win an election with Modi on the ticket in these states where you have strong central leadership from the Congress?
Well, Rajdeep has made certain statement that may not be true. It is just that he is speculating something which is factually incorrect. We give lot of importance, lot importance to our ground level worker, starting with Parna Pramukh at booth level, and their feedback is more important than feedback which is coming from the party leader, local leadership. So it is very unfair to make that kind of statement that we only focus on the senior leadership and do not give it more attention to the state leadership, or for that matter the local level leadership.
Tell us, for example, what is the status of Vasundhara Raje at the moment? I mean, I'm just
See,
asking you this out of curiosity
no,
in a way, because the fact is this has been a matter lingering for
Okay.
months. What is the status
No.
of
Okay,
Vasudha
Prashant
Raje's
Vinay,
leadership?